Hi, my name is Chloe Pedalino, and I am a licensed clinical social worker and a Reiki master. Welcome to Mental Health Mondays. And today we're going to be talking about what's the difference between an empath and empathy. So, somebody who displays the trait of empathy can, for example, put themselves in somebody else's shoes. So, say your friend's family member, for example, comes down with some sort of an acute illness. Okay, you can, as somebody who is displaying empathy, can think, oh, wow, this must be a really hard time for them. Maybe they're going to have to take off work, or maybe they could use some extra meals, or they're going to have to be spending a lot of time in the hospital. I could see that being really rough. Maybe I'll reach out to them and see how I can be supportive to them in some way. This is a trait of empathy, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. This is different than an empath, okay? An empath is somebody who is literally biologically wired to pick up on the subtle energies of other people, meaning that without any words spoken, sometimes without any communication at all, other than being present, or if the person already knows the person, it can be at a distance, they can feel energetic shifts and changes for that other person. Again, this can be on a subconscious level, and it often is until the empath realizes that they are an empath, and then it becomes conscious. And for those that are empaths, they might realize looking back on their lives that they have been regulating not only themselves, but their environment and the people within it for their entire life because they were wired to do so. This is very different than the cognition that occurs with somebody who is displaying empathy. And as a result of them putting themselves in somebody else's shoes, they can then imagine the situation. With an empath, they are literally feeling the situation that the other person is going through. Whether or not they have requested any information or received any information from that person, they can feel it themselves. So this is an important differentiation, and I'd like for people to be aware of this so that we're not throwing around terms that are incorrect. Again, somebody who is an empath is literally wired to pick up on these subtle energies in the environment around, and it would behoove us as those who are not empaths to really listen to what the empaths have to share and have to say, because they're usually right. However, unfortunately, society has gaslit them over time into being too sensitive, for example. So please be kind to those of your friends who identify as empaths and acknowledge that it's different than expressing empathy. Thanks so much for being here on Mental Health Monday. Look forward to seeing you here next week.